Now, we have to cover the sombre news of the week, and there is a lot around, but once again, there was a shooting in America this week. This time in a school in Florida where 17 people were killed. Chris Darby said, "Is it OK that there have been so many mass shootings in America? I'm almost desensitised to them." This is the thing. Every time one of these shootings happens, we come in and think, what can we say that we've not said before? There is nothing we can say about these things that we've not said before. In fact, we've even said there's nothing we can say that we've not said before. We've said everything we can think of.
I think one of the reasons it feels desensitising is it kind of... And obviously it kind of gets these statistics, like the, you know, the amount of... The times it's happened in 5 years or whatever. And it's kind of... If you just read it as that, as the headline, then it becomes a statistic. But then you read the story... And that's when the kind of horror of it comes home to you, when you read the details of it and kind of... Each one of these kind of horrible events... Once you read it, it's this unique, horrible thing, and you go, these people who've been killed and these lives that have been ruined, and it's just horrible. And we talked about it so much on this show, and there's, you know, there's nothing you can really say, is there?
I find it scary that it happens, and even scarier that they still don't learn from it. I find that
how much have the NRA donated to Donald Trump? Is it
the National Rifle Association?
Yes, that's more than any other president.
Is it?
Yes, yeah. And so it just, you know, just hopeless. I feel like Sandy Hook was a kind of, you know, once it was OK to kill... That was 2012, wasn't it? Once it was OK to kill kids, there was going to be no going back, was there? I mean, it's just...
Well, now in America, like, kids have drills. They have drills when they get to school for what happens if there's a shooter. You can actually buy products that'll, you know, help...
It's so predictable. I felt cross, you know, in this era of mental health awareness, that the first thing is to go, oh, he was crazy lunatic.
Yeah.
Because you know that you know, he had a gun. He had a gun. That was like the #1 problem.
Yeah.
And the #2 problem was that he felt mentally ill. We have mentally, you know, he felt murderous towards other people. We have people who, I mean, I feel murderous towards many people. My ex-husband sometimes.
But the thing is, in America,
I don't have a gun, and that's good.
And the problem is...
We did have you checked on the way in, so...
It has got to a point in America where a high school shooting is kind of like a rite of passage for teenagers now. Do you know what I mean? Like, they have a prom, a homecoming, a shooting, and then a graduation. It virtually happened. People are now joining the US Army just to get out of going to high school in America. 3 of the 10 deadliest mass shootings in America have happened in the last 5 months. And, like, when shootings like this have happened in other countries, they've restricted access to guns, and the shootings have stopped. We know it's worked here, it's worked in Australia. It would probably work in America, but you know Donald Trump's not going to do anything about this. He's offered thoughts and prayers today. He said he's offered his thoughts and prayers.
He's offered thoughts and prayers, and I'm a Christian, but I've got to say, I think that's not going to work.
Wow.
I mean, the medical students can tell you that, you know, if you've got a brain tumour and your doctor comes in and says, I'm going to pray for you, I'm just going to lay on a hand and anoint you with some holy oil. You know, you maybe be touched, but really you want him to get it out.
But the thing is, Donald Trump will not say anything. He gave a speech. He didn't mention guns once. He didn't say anything had to be done about gun control. But when a Muslim so much as sneezes in a public place, he is the first person to rail against it on Twitter. I think what we need to do is convince Donald Trump that guns are Muslim. If we tell him that guns were introduced to America 200 years ago by ISIS so that Americans would eventually end up killing each other, maybe he'll take some action.
It's up to us to make it OK. It's time to be positively rebellious and rebelliously positive. As long as we stand up for what we believe in, don't give in to anger or violence. Look out for the little guy. Keep an eye on the big guys. Refuse to keep our mouths shut. And just generally try not to be dicks.